situation. Nigerians are in various levels of pain, and there are pains that are unintended.
Mr. President, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic, President Tinubu, Your Excellency, the Chief of Staff to Mr. President, Honorable Femi Bajaber-Milam, the National...
All right. So, as I told you in one of my previous videos, that because of the news we have gotten, the UN Congress, confessing that Christians are being unalived in Nigeria. So, because of that news, immediately, the President of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, called all the Catholic bishops to come to Abuja, sharp, make they do meeting. So, in this video, this is the meeting they held. Well, we had Bishop Hassan Lukaku, yes, the Bishop of Sokoto. He said some things about the visit, and of course, we also hear from President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. But my prayer is that these people will be able to have the courage to tell him, Mr. President, abomination is going on in Nigeria. Maybe you don't know. Maybe they know they tell you, but we are telling you. I pray any of them will have the courage, the confidence to tell Mr. President this. I pray they tell him. May they not go there, they do pity. I pray they have the courage to tell him what is happening in Nigeria. A couple of days ago, we saw women protesting in Enugu State. Why? Because Fulani is unaliving their children and their mothers on daily basis. A couple of weeks ago, we saw what happened in Ebonyi, where a community was totally burnt down and people was unalived because of the activities of Fulani. To this extent that Fulani now brings letter. They bring letter to a community that they are coming, and certainly they will come. The soldiers wouldn't do anything. The policemen wouldn't do anything. The governors wouldn't do anything. I pray that these bishops, that one or two of them will have the courage to tell Mr. President what is happening. President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, Nigeria is on fire. Nigeria is on fire. I don't know if you have an atom of what is happening in Nigeria. People are being unalived every day. People are being unalived every day for no reason. Please, I pray. Anyways, let's just take time to listen to this and then drop on the comment section what you think about it.
This insecurity, everyone is affected. Christian, Muslim, alike. And I have no religious behind. But, I won't be a bigot. My wife is a pastor of Redeemed Christian Church faith. But we have to think of our country as if this country must develop, must go beyond myopic beliefs, must stand beyond religious bigotry. And I'm here, open to you, ready to listen. People that elder of the Catholic faith are here. We've been together for some time. We still have an open door policy. I will not shut my door. I will be ready to help. We will set up the committee to, as you suggested. And if you have recommendations, please do that. I've not been able to set that up instantly. Now, we've established state loan fund to help the poor and ensure that our children are not left behind because of tuition fee and all of that. Thank you for what the degree of investment in education that you have been Catholic, faith has been making in.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I have just met with the president.
Who said so?
Okay, you are at the presidential villa. I take that back. You are at the presidential villa. What are you here for?
Well, I came to see the president. This is the director of the Kuka Center, Father Atta. So we came to discuss with the president an invitation we had earlier extended, which we renew, to have a conference in which we would like him to be in attendance, addressing the theme of national cohesion. So that's really what we came to discuss.
President Bola Tinubu is clocking 1 year in office in a couple of weeks. Would you be kind enough to tell us what you feel? We know you're someone who has been vocal about Nigerians' past presidents. Can you assess President Bola Tinubu for us?
Well, I'm sure many people will tell you that 1 year is not enough to make a judgment. However, from where we all stand, we know that we are all in a very difficult situation. Nigerians are in various levels of pain, and there are pains that are unintended. But that there is also certain policy decisions that hopefully with time can be amended in order to serve the welfare of ordinary people. I believe that the essence of government is to guarantee the welfare and security of ordinary citizens. I believe that the times that we're in now are very, very difficult times, and nobody should be under any illusion. But there are also times for renewal. We just need to commit ourselves to the fact that building a good society takes a lot of time. It's not something that is done in one lifetime. And for me, the most important thing is for us to continue on the building blocks of the things that we think are being done well. My argument has always been that the government needs to very quickly improve the quality of communication so that Nigerians can at least get a sense of how long is it going to be before food is ready.
You are concerned about national cohesion. Many Nigerians are afraid that the crisis in the West can blow up, such as.
I don't know. I think you to speak about Rivers State.
No, I'm just as a man of God.
Well, I don't live in Rivers State. Yes. If you meet look, this is politics. And very often we ordinary people cry more than the bereaved. The important thing is that politicians will fix their problems. Rivers State is a place that is very dear to me because I've been associated with them for a very long period of time. But look, when politicians fight, don't get carried away because they have their capacity to fix their quarrels. And I hope and pray that Rivers State will sooner than later reposition itself, because it is not an insignificant part of Nigeria. All right?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, for giving me an opportunity to be heard at a critical time in my country, and particularly my state, Benue. I am Wilfred Chikbana, but I appear here as the bishop, the Catholic Bishop of Makurdi Diocese, the capital of Benue State in Nigeria. I am the shepherd of one of the 4 dioceses, Catholic dioceses in Benue. We have others, Anglican, Methodist, and Pentecostals, which certainly Benue State has a population of about 6.1 million people, 2 million of whom are souls under my care as the bishop of the diocese. Benue State is about 98% Christian, with very few Muslims living in towns. Nigeria and eventually my diocese and the state of Benue have become, in recent years, one of the most dangerous and insecure places for Christians. Christians and Muslims are nearly evenly divided among Nigeria's large population of over 200 million persons. Islamist extremists are fiercely contesting the possession, control, and governing law of the land, especially in the country's northern and central regions, the latter of which is where Benue is located. There are constant ethnic, political, and religious conflicts over land and allegiance. Constitutionally, we are a secular country, but our unity has been fragile. Political and religious actions and even public speech have been carefully managed to avoid accusations of religious bias and political tensions. Today, the clear influence of Islamist extremists has changed the traditional social dynamics of tribe, ethnicity, religion, and the social status in Nigeria. Because just recently, at the beginning of the Ramadan fast, 12 states in northern Nigeria have declared closed schools so that they attend to this. And you can imagine which other country in the world does that. Saudi Arabia is not doing it. Afghanistan is not doing it. Baghdad is not doing it, but then Nigeria is practicing. What kind of Islam are they practicing? 12 states, and not only Muslims are living in these places. What happens with the educational program or curriculum of the country? But this is what we are going through every day in Nigeria. A long-term Islamic agenda to homogenize the population has been implemented over several presidencies through a strategy to reduce and eventually eliminate the Christian identity of half of the population. This strategy includes both violent and non-violent actions, such as the exclusion of Christians from positions of power and adoption of such church members, the raping of women, the killing and exploitation of Christians, the destruction of churches and farmlands of Christian farmers, followed by the occupation of such lands by the Fulani herders, and also changing the names of these villages. They are taking over the places, so you clearly see an expansionist approach and Islamic, and then they are making the people now flee and leave their villages, and they conquer it. The quest to Islamalize the land appears high on the agenda of some of the powerful and influential Muslims in Nigeria. There is a campaign to take land to spread Islam, and there is the hemorrhaging of Christian farmers from the central region of Nigeria and Benue State, and Makurdi Diocese in particular, as they are forced to abandon fertile lands that used to feed the nation, which classify Benue as the food basket of the nation. Militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists destroying society. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it. They kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from the elected authorities. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice. This is supported by the corrupt system in which we operate and the abject poverty among us, which allow the criminals to easily attract more recruits and prey on more victims. Why is this happening? Is it really a religious war? Like in the past, many jihadists are motivated less by religion than by spoils of war and use their religion to impose themselves. In my diocese, the spoils consist mainly of fertile, well-tended land organized around my parishes or so. The jihadists come and adopt and kill the priests, leaving thousands without support and basic human services. And of course, when they disperse the people, the inhabitants, or the citizens, or the people of the lands, they take over. And any attempt to go back and take care of your farms, surely you get killed. The Makurdi Diocese in Benue State has been the epicenter of the invasion by these herders who are more like hired guns of cattle oligarchies, who manipulate religion to rally the herders to eliminate the Christian population and cleanse the land in the name of Islam. This objective is behind the relentless attacks against Benue's villages. When we call for help to the police and the army, they do not come. At the end of 2024, several villages were warned by the attackers of the upcoming violence, and the leaders called the police for defense ahead of time. But they did not come, and the Christian massacres, almost customary, took place, killing hundreds in Plateau and Benue, with the worst massacre claiming 47 people. The militant also burned down the 8 Catholic churches of St. Mary's Parish in the Diocese of Boko, which in Benue State, as well as the parish house, clinics, schools, and other houses. The militant Fulani herdsmen bear on defenseless villagers without consequences. They follow orders to conquer, kill, and occupy. They attack even those who have managed to escape into our IDP camps. Thereby, they have no place to run to. And it is unfortunate that the police system in Nigeria, orders have to come from above, and such the ones there's a call, and they say they have never responded. And by the time they arrive, these people have left, and the people are now living in the pool of their blood. What I have recounted above is happening not only in Benue State. I believe our experience in Benue is symptomatic of what is happening elsewhere in large parts of Nigeria. The experience of the Nigerian Christians today can be summed up as that of a church under Islamist extermination. It is frightening to live there. Apart from the violent campaigns and attacks against Christian villages, there are now attempts by the Islamic Council of Nigeria and various Islamic groups to impose Sharia law on the Christian populations. Already, 12 states in the north of Nigeria are under this sectarian religious law, and attempts to extend the same to the south of Nigeria, which they have started. This month, governors in the north decided appropriately to close all schools and education institutions during the months of Ramadan, leaving millions of students without learning opportunity for 5 weeks. We live in fear because at any point it can be our turn to be killed, but to remain silent is to die twice. So, I have chosen to speak. I speak on behalf of the millions who are in the camps. In Benue State, in Makurdi Diocese alone, in my diocese, I have about 9 camps. 9. On the 5th of March, which was Ash Wednesday, we visited one of the camps, and many of my priests and religious went to the other camps, distributed them to begin the Ash Wednesday with our faithful who are there, because we are the voice of the voiceless. We have to talk for the defenseless. We have to talk about the weak and those who cannot talk about themselves. In one of the camps called the Mega Camp, there were over 3,000 inmates of that camp, and which was a record given to us by government. I speak on behalf of them.
All right. So you have seen it. What do you think? Drop your comment on the comment section. We are still going to see the outcome of this meeting. All right. So thank you very much. If you are coming across my channel for the first time, do well to subscribe. All right. Thank you. God bless you.
They have Tinubu and Wike have thrown themselves. They are holding Fubara. Fubara is also holding them. So what is going to happen at the end of the day is that if there is struggle to that extreme, then everywhere will go in flame. You know you can use to grab the bone now, grab it. So whatever Wike and Tinubu feel that they are going to deploy in Rivers State for them to grab the bone, they should be fast about it, because the last ultimatum has already expired, which is 48 hours. We didn't see any action. We didn't see the governor arrested.
To represent the
That's what I'm saying now. We don't see any. We didn't see the governor arrested. We didn't see anything. We don't see them marching on the street. We don't see them kidnapping the commissioner of police, or calling the attention of the GOC, or even shutting down. We don't see them take any action. The next 48 hours is about to elapse. We have not seen any of them.
We are likely going to
I said they're going to order another 48 hours. At the end of the day, the chief judge has disappeared from the environment there. No, the chief judge is nowhere to be found. In fact, the chief judge made an announcement that it is only the governor that have right to bring him back, that he can stay there for 15 years. It doesn't concern anybody. So that is a deep crisis. They have, Tinubu and Wike have thrown themselves. They are holding Fubara. Fubara is also holding them. So what is going to happen at the end of the day is that if there is struggle to that extreme, then everywhere will go in flames.
Okay, now let me take you to the angle of Asadi Kobo, who have said the other time, when there were threats that Fubara could be impeached and that he can impeach Fubara not to happen, he did said, I'm talking about Asadi Kobo, that if they think if they impeach Fubara, that nothing will happen. He said, I tell you that something will happen. They will not, are you sure something will happen?
They will not even have the space to sit. Huh? Talk less of, because the seat they left is still vacant. They don't even have anywhere to sit. Even if they are going to sit, they do not have any legal power against the sitting governor. We saw Wike did the same thing. We saw Ameti to run the State House of Assembly with 4 people. We saw it in Edo State. Why is it that Fubara own is, becoming something of interest? It's because of the way and manner they are pushing against it, meaning that Tinubu is interested in whatever he's going to do to make sure that he have, because in Kano now, it's not under APC, it's not under PDP. In Lagos now, it's already divided. The island people are saying no to Obasa. Some people are saying no to Obasa. It is only Tinubu camp that is saying yes to Obasa. The entire lawmakers in that house, including former Nollywood actor, shed tears when Merenda surrendered to GAG, governance advisory, committee. They surrendered. But people are saying, if you can do such thing in Lagos, why didn't you do such thing in River State? Why are you bringing all the whole federal might on Fubara? Then, that was why the Rivers people of Igbo extraction, the Igbos in River State, yesterday, in River State alone, Igbos control 70% of that population.
I'm aware, because Obobo,
yes. Control. So, yesterday, they issued a press conference calling Tinubu and Wike to order. And they made it very clearly that any attempt, whether it is in the air, they don't even need to come closer to the National Assembly environment. If they want it anywhere that they want to impeach Fubara, that place where they did it, that they will see the other side of the Igbo people of Rivers. That's what they say. Igbo people of Rivers. That's what
perhaps I should ask this question. What do you think would have necessitated the Igbos in Rivers rally around the Fubara?
Because all Igbos all over the world believe in justice. No, they don't. They're straightforward, because they are light. They know what light is. If you are light, you know what light. When you see light, you know what it is. Agreed. Wike and Fubara has worked together. Or it happens to be the Captain General of the Federation. But from what we are seeing, we do not see anywhere Fubara went wrong or offended Wike to the extent that they went to remove the first Ijaw governor in that state, just because of Wike brought the whole commissioners. You are the one that brought the lawmakers. Then allowed the governor, to get along with his government. You are demanding that a certain fair share of the state allocation or revenue should be awarded to you, and the man said no.
Okay, now let me bring this angle, Mr. Chinedu Michael, because we thought we have...
We have seen it now. They are moving closer. You can see that synergy already, The people are beginning to realize now that the Northerners, of course, and the Yorubas, who has kept division in the entire Biafran space as a result of creating South-South, are beginning to see that, the Northerners are already warning Tinubu. let this not trigger the Biafran cause, because they are seeing the realignment that is going on in Rivers State. Now, remember, the Ohanese president, the current Ohanese president, John Asotambata, is from at the same state. The
And Mbata is as well an ally of Fubara.
Of course, now he was the one that nominated. You don't know what is happening.
So the Igbos are so much interested. Igbos in Rivers.
You understand? That's what I said. The Igbo youth now and Igbo, they came out and said that Rivers, Igbo Rivers or whatever they call themselves. But I can see the synergy yesterday. It was something. It was overwhelming. The crowd was something else. I think.
And coincidentally, both Wike and Mbata are of Ikwele extraction.
Yes, but they are Ikwele. If Mbata can be claiming Igbo. Wike is claiming, though Wike has made it years back, that when he was giraffing the presidency, he said, I'm Igbo. So that
but Wike is tired of saying, why could he be saying he's not an Igbo person?
No, before he started saying it, that he's not an Igbo person. Before, we were saying a number of things, how related Igbo and all that.
Let me bring this angle, because Ijoyu Council have made it very clear, saying if you deprive Rivers State of fund, Nigeria will be deprived of funds. I know the angle they are going. Perhaps attacking critical oil infrastructure in the region. We have seen this in the past, in the time of Yaradua, when Baramatu was bombarded and different places bombarded. Do you think the Council
the joy is not much.